official. The Ranger has served its purpose, being my daily while I swapped the BMW, did the motor and trans and the cage. So on to the next new project. 1990 Toyota MR2, 5-speed turbo, target top, wide body. Need some door handles in here, but 98,000 miles on it, I believe. Definitely a project. So that was a few pictures of how I got the MR2, and here getting ready to go back to the shop. That's just with the first car wash. Got a lot of the debris off of it. And then got it tucked away into my shop where it stayed for the next month or so. First thing I'm gonna do is bleed the clutch. See if we have any kind of pedal feel. And here's the reservoir. Says .3. So I got that filled up. I already cracked this line open and pumped the brake a few times. And there seems to be fluid, so we'll see. It's a long ways. It goes all the way underneath and then to the clutch, which is back here. Hooked up to this hose so I can watch if there's any air bubbles moving. First look underneath this. I see that the motor mount that was sitting in the driver's seat goes here. Got that hooked up to the bleeding part on this block at the end of this. You can see fluid starting to come out already. There we go. So I started to bleed it, and as you can see, there's fluid moving. I'm supposed to do this until there's a solid stream, and unfortunately I kept adding fluid and pumping and I never got there. I ended up finding a line, had the incorrect flare on one end. Remade that line, still didn't have any clutch, it would still grind trying to put it in gear. Dropped the trans and I find a bolt behind the pressure plate. So after removing the old fuel pump, you can see it's pretty nasty. Ended up finding the corroded heater core lines, which is very common. Thanks, Dwayne. Here I got the first 5 gallons, gonna put in the MR2. And you realize, hold on. There's supposed to be a fuel door there. So we have to improvise. Got the fuel pressure tester out because I wasn't getting any fuel out of the return line. So I'm like, okay, well, let me crack this loose, right? Fuel filter. Break it loose. I got hella fuel spraying everywhere, right? So I can go in trying to hook up this, And I'm like, all right, well, let me match the threads with this thing here, right? This was in the fuel filter. And if you realize, this is not a banjo bolt, so there's no way for fuel to go from there to there. What the fuck? We don't need this no more. Should be all good to go. So after only a week in my possession, got the fuel pump, got the clutch bled, car was ready to go. Just have to get new seats. This is the interior before, pretty dusty and crusty after sitting for 10 years. Got it all vacuumed out a little bit. New seat brackets. Got these new seats. Purchased them from a coworker. Got to shout him out because he gave me a great deal on these. There they are, nicely paired in the interior. Carbon fiber back. And ready for its first spin around the parking lot. Now I know what you're thinking. What did you do? Well, I gotta say, this was not my fault. Technically, I should have dropped the oil pan to begin with and double check all the work that was done inside, not knowing exactly what had been done. But obviously something broke, so got the motor pulled out that same night, dropped it out the bottom, and once I looked inside, you can see there's a nut coming loose on that side of the rod. This side had already come out. Don't mind my coworker's music, but cylinder 1 looks good. Cylinder 2, catastrophic failure. Oh yeah. Yeah, this block is done. I'm thinking there's a hole in there. That there looks due to the failure of the piston slash rod bearing. But up here, that's old damage. It's already been there. That's why there's no wear right here. Big ass hole in the block already. There's no piston ring touching right there. All the rest of them don't look like that. I don't want to push them because I'm gonna hit the head. I don't want to damage the head at least. So yeah. So after finding those holes, obviously the block is no good. I ended up finding this on a Facebook group for a really good deal. It was getting rebuilt. Obviously, I'm not sure who worked on it or what had been done, so I ended up buying it just because it was such a great deal, coming with all these parts. But started to see good signs such as ARP hardware, JE pistons inside. So I decided it'd be best just to take it completely apart and recheck everything, including piston ring gap, bearing clearances, and a new head gasket. And from there, couldn't really help myself, had to polish up these ugly valve cover screws. And unfortunately, don't have much footage or anything else from the assembly, but engine is complete, put back together, ready to go back in. So I didn't get much footage of the engine actually going in, or getting the whole car put together. But as you can see, everything's all there, ready to go. Main goal is to drive this thing, shake it down, see what else it needs, break it in, and just have some fun with it. So next I'm gonna put the engine cover and the side panels on both sides so we can finalize this thing and start driving it. So here's the hood. Not gonna put that on there like that, so get this cleaned up real quick, see what we can do to it. There's the before. The sun is hitting directly on it and there's no shine at all, so let's fix that. So 2000 grit. That's what I'm using. Big corded buffer. I'm gonna turn it down RPM wise so it doesn't burn through the paint. Obviously you see the white coming off. It means there's no clear coat, so you gotta be careful not to burn the paint off of it. That. I'm not buffing it because it's still wet. I'm just gonna throw it on. I still need to polish the rest of the car, so let's do this at a later time.